So, the very first question I like to ask everybody is, what was the problem you most wanted to solve when you first started working with me?
I wanted to create or build a business around me and one that like allowed me to live the life that I wanted to live. I I was already a therapist who successfully had transitioned to outpatient. And so, but I felt trapped because I was like still like part of corporate America and there was just so much more that I wanted and I wanted to be able to do. And so when I first met you, it was like, wow, I would love for you to help me build this business around me and the life I want.
Right. And what did your life look like, before you came to me? What was it looking like for you? So you said the word trapped, but what else?
It just felt mundane. Like I felt like everything inside me that was exciting and like this, like the spark of life and like, the saying, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. It's like, well, I loved what I did, but I still felt stuck. I felt like there's so much more that I had to give that I wanted to share with people. There are so many things that I could do, but I didn't know how to do them. So I felt trapped like they weren't even options.
So what made you want to work with me? I mean, what made you choose?
The first time I met you, sitting there across the table from you, it was so clear that you had these amazing boundaries. Like, and as a therapist, I see people's boundaries a lot. So, but to see your boundaries was amazing. Like you knew what your lane was. You were so clear in how you wanted to help people and what brought you joy in helping people. That you were just so good at staying in your lane. And then I also admired how you knew what your lane was and you weren't afraid to bring other people on. Like if it was something that was outside of your lane, you're like, I know someone, I have resources. And you were just always able, no matter what need I have, whenever I had come to you, like you just always had a way to like help people get to where they needed to be. And you were okay with staying in your lane because that's what made your life happy. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be that person who knew my lane because I didn't know my lane. And happiness.
Right? And the joy factor that happened with that. Thank you. So what has been the greatest benefits that you receive from working with me? And you've had a variety of programs. You've run through a variety of my programs. So go ahead and share what works for you.
Yes. Oh, this is such a big question. I love it. The greatest benefits, there's so many benefits. But if I had to like come up with one that was the greatest, it was definitely my confidence in being me. Through all of the work we've done together, your amazing programs and videos and everything that you have, it's like I finally feel like I can be my authentic self within my business. And I can, like I said, build that business around me. But I now feel confident in being my authentic self because it is enough. I do have something to share. It might not be for everybody, but it is for those that want it. And I feel like I can safely stand in my authenticness now that I have the confidence to be there. So that's like the greatest thing that I'm so grateful for you, that I've benefited.
Mm-hmm.
More awesome things that you have done for me in my life. One, I feel like my limits are boundless. Like there's so many things, like I said before, we talked about, I'm kind of a squirrel. And there's like all these things that come in. But whenever I feel like I want to do something, there's no limit to it. It's now a how. How am I going to do that? What does it look like? How do I want to bring it in? Is now the right time or is it later? But there aren't those limits that I felt like were there before. Another one is you taught me how to create platforms. So anything that I want to create in my world, I can find a platform to keep my business going. So now I can live my life. I can do what I want to do. I can go to the beach and swim every day. And my business will still function around me because I can create whatever is bringing that joy into my life because you showed me how to have the platforms to do that. Another thing I have to share because it was such a big moment is one of the greatest benefits is feeling comfortable in the spotlight. Like I'd never thought of that before we started working together about the fear that I had of just being in the spotlight. And so to be able to have somebody reflect that back to me so that I could do the work to get through that fear, to be able to be okay with the spotlight and not like stop the spotlight from coming to me. I could just bring it in. I mean, oh my gosh, priceless. I'm about halfway through my list. So
That's okay. We like your stories.
Oh, the other thing is being able to live my dream. I remember when I came to you for your coaching services, you said, I need you to do a vision board. I'm a therapist. I hate vision boards. I shouldn't hate vision boards because they're amazing. But, you had me do the work. And the first thing I said to you is, I want to live in Hawaii. And a year later, I called you from Hawaii of like, I'm
Right.
here. Like it opened the door, life happened. So now I get to live my dream. And I know that if my dream changes and I have a new dream, I can live that dream too. It is possible. Oh my gosh. And then, okay, all the other benefits, I'm going to sum up into like this one statement. I feel like through working with you and just having you as a contact for me, that I have a plethora of wisdom and knowledge that I can always tap into whenever I'm needing it. Because if you don't have the answer, you'll connect me with somebody who does, or you'll point me in a direction just to get things moving so that, it just comes. Like whatever I'm looking for, you help me find.
Good, because you have a lot to offer this world. So I'm glad that you're there. So what was it like working with me, or the 8 gates, however you want to word that?
Oh, it was exciting.
Yeah, well, it wasn't always sunshine and roses, and I would love for you to share your story on that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We have had such a turbulent relationship that is perfect. If you want me to share all of my story, I'm totally happy to do it. So I told you I want to move to Hawaii, and then we like started working, and then it was like every time I would get ready to come into this call, like something would just hit me, like just blindsided, and I would have all these emotions. You would say one simple thing to me and I would like start throwing a tantrum. Like I would watch myself on video being like a 13-year-old and just having this tantrum and being like, well, does suck. Right? Like, oh my gosh, I was such a pain in the ass. Like, thank you for putting up with me. But then the realization of all of these things that I had no clue about. Like, I know, my mom and I are different in our own ways. She loves me the best she can. I didn't realize how many blind spots I've had until I could sit across from you and you have those boundaries. So it was all about me, and you just like let me bounce off of me, and the stuff that I needed to see to overcome these obstacles, these blind spots, all this stuff that was stuck. It was miserable in the most delightful way. Because like I'm a people pleaser, right? Like definitely trying to be that martyr. I'm recovering from that now. Thank you.
Right.
But with when I would come to you, it would be like I would want to please you. I'd want you to be proud of my progress. If I wasn't making progress, because Lord knows the harder I tried to make progress when we were working together, the less progress I would make. It was like purposely slowing down because I had to know that I was more than just achieving. I had to learn that, I'm enough even when I'm not achieving. And so when I would come and I'd meet with you and you just have this boundary, which was awesome, but it did feel like bouncing off a brick wall because I knew none of it was your stuff. It was all my stuff, so I couldn't hide from it. But nobody likes to get slapped in the face with their own shit. I'm a therapist, and I know nobody likes that. so
That's not a fun place to be.
Not at all. But once we got through it, I remember like the day where it like finally cleared, and I felt so much love and joy and gratitude that I had never felt before because I was finally worthy of receiving it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, like without you being able to hold that space that I could bounce off of and run my head into that wall repeatedly until I didn't need to run into it anymore. I'm pretty sure I still remember the metaphor you gave me of, you can see the wall, you're riding your bike towards the wall. And if I'm back here, I can call your name, but it's either you're going to hit the wall straight on or you're going to turn and look at me and hit the wall sideways. So I'm glad you let me hit the wall straight on because I think I didn't have to run into it as much. I could finally start to see it coming.
You could see it coming, and then you could make appropriate adjustments as you needed. So what is an example where the 8 gates went the extra mile, where I or the 8 gates went an extra mile for you?
Oh my gosh. The number of ways that you have supported me by going the extra mile. One, just by continuing to show up and meet with me while I was a tantruming 13-year-old.
I've raised 4 children. It's okay. I've had 4
Yes.
teenagers at once, so
Right.
it's okay.
Yes. But you would reassure me. And I always thought that was like the extra mile. When you show up, you're like, it's okay. I get it.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
get it. And
Yeah.
then you're constantly throwing resources at me between the books that you would send me, the cards that you would send me. I still have them. I cycle them through based on like what I'm feeling I need you to tell me at any moment. So like, I have this one right now, keep up the
Oh.
great work. And this one I love, the don't worry about the speed, just
Right.
get there. And I know that you send these for me. They're not like generic cards you're just sending out to everyone. Your invite to meet you and like go for a walk and just connect. All the videos, your media kit video that you gave to me free as part of a package, your connections with like resources, whether it's like Fiverr or Canva or Ask the Audience, like, or Ask the Public, right? Or if it's like Tasha or administrative assistants, or if it's shamans, or if it's, whatever I've ever needed, you've never, ever hesitated to be like, let me see if I can help give you something that you're needing.
Glad that's the case. Yep. After the sale, after you signed up for the big coaching program and everything, did you feel like you were brought into the program with your eyes wide open? Like you knew what you were, maybe you didn't know everything you were getting ready to walk into, but did you feel supported in that process of onboarding?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because you had talked about it. Like when we first talked and you're like, you're going to write a book. And I was like, ooh. And then we went through that process of writing the book, which totally felt supported because I could join the writers group. I had access to so many people. It wasn't just you. I had so many people I had access to. And then I remember I sat with it for about a month. And I was like, I think I'm finally ready. And the interesting thing was the way I knew I was ready to embark on that coaching session was because I knew that I was worth the money that I was spending to give to you.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like you were asking this ridiculous price because it was going to benefit you. I knew I was giving you this money because I was ready to receive that in return. I knew I was ready and I was worth it. I was worth that money that I was spending. And oh my God, can I pay you double that? I would totally have paid you double. Because what I have gotten in return is 3 times, 4 times, what I used to be doing.
So if someone calls you up and says, hey, what's it like to do business with Janine? What would you tell them?
Well, I get this all the time because I refer you to like so many people. So I talk about you all the time.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. But what I usually say is like, it's great. You've got me to places that I never thought I could get to. And I always warn them, I'm like, but be prepared to do the work. Like when you meet with Janine, there is work. She's going to show you the things that are keeping you stuck. And those are things we don't normally like to see. So when people come to you, like she's going to open the door, make sure you're ready to walk through it.
Well said. Thank you so much. And any last words you want to share with people?
Yes, I have to say, some of the other things that really stood out about you, that in the more I worked with you, the more like I have moments now where I'm like, oh, I'm this person's Janine. And it's like, I like have so much joy. It feels so good to be able to connect. And it's because of the values that you hold. You and your company, right? Like everybody that works for you, I haven't found anything no less. But some of the main values that I really wanted in my life as well, and in people that I work with, is like that ability to be genuine, the ability to be authentic. There are plenty of times where you told me things I did not want to hear, but you knew you had to share it because it needed to be said. And it would never came off in a rude way. It was always just supportive of like, this is what you're not looking at. And you have such a focus on helping other people grow that anyone who knows you like knows that is your thing. Any way that you can help other people grow and have abundance in their life, like that is your focus. It's not on the money. You help others, money just comes. But I love those values about you, and I'm so grateful for having you in my life. So I just want to make sure I share that too.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Crystal. I appreciate you being with us today.